What's up guys, it's Link here. Welcome back to Hyrule. In today's video, I will be discussing why I think Aphelios and Ezreal are not so much overpowered as the other ADCs are just weak. Keep in mind this is coming from an ADC main, so I am partial to wanting my role to actually be playable. So there's a disclaimer, and now it's out of the way. In this game, our mid laner wanted to bot, but, well, actually he was our jungler. So Chubwell, who was supposed to be our mid laner, just swapped with him so I could stay on roll to do this video. So shout out to both Chubwell and Hi Bunny. If you ever play with them, do a good job. Now, while I lock onto my character, let me start off the video by saying I do think Aphelios, in a perfect situation, most likely does way too much damage. But perfect situations are very, very unlikely to occur in a normal ranked game. And just another disclaimer, this is a normal, since I don't feel confident taking Aphelios into ranked yet. But after whatever that was is finally out of the way, we will go start our leash. In this game, I took lethal tempo because I just wanted to try it out. I've seen it run in LCS, and I feel like at times it would just be really cool to see how much damage I could pump out while lethal is proc. And as you'll see in this gameplay, it's not bad. Since this gameplay is being recorded from the replay feature through OBS, there will be a couple things that you can't see, like my CS count, but I will put up this screen every once in a while. All you really need to know about the CS in this lane and the item builds is that I am always ahead in CS and items against this Sivir, and this MF does go AP. So here early on, we just get a free trade, take about half their health for the cost of one auto on each of us pretty much. Pyke heals it up to full. I will eventually, since Severum has lifesteal on it. Pyke would have hit that Q, we 100% would have killed. You see how fast those 3 autos come out there. Even with the Calibrum, which is the sniper rifle, and I feel like that is the lowest DPS gun just in a straight up fight. Simply because Gravitum has the stun and allows you to shoot more. Obviously, Crescendum is the best gun in Aphelios' kit because it gives you more, I guess boomerangs is the best way of putting it. But in this game, you're going to see me out boomerang Sivir, even though I think what she uses is supposed to be a glaive. Nevertheless, let's just ignore semantics. So, now that I've kind of set the stage for the fact that this lane is pretty much won from the get-go, despite a few early mistakes from me, I just want to bring up that the early mistakes, as I would have put it in the past, I more so take them as things that were worthwhile for me to do. So yeah, I died, and yeah, it's not the greatest, but the faster you get eye edge on Aphelios is the faster you start carrying. So, you know, yes, they were deaths, but they were also very, very worthwhile deaths. And here, Sivir flashes to kill me and gets 2 autos off. So I die. Pyke gets a kill. That death, it's not really worth. A couple I don't know if it's a couple or one, but my next few deaths are all really worthwhile for me. Whether it be making plays at Dragon, getting like 3 for 1, I think. Stuff like that. We'll review them when we get to them. That play, I flashed way too late, and I feel like I wasted heal trying to greed flash. But anyways, now that we've gone through the setup, we'll review the plays when we get to them. But what I want to talk about is Ezreal and Aphelios being OP, as people call them. You can't see the air quotes because I don't have a webcam yet, but they're there. So Ezreal, let's start with him since he's my main. Since they removed double tier, he's got less powerful, quote unquote. They made his E cooldown longer. So level 1, I believe, shift is like a 27, 28 second cooldown now. It's up like 3 to 5 seconds, which is actually a lot early game when you don't have a lot of CDR. But that's fine. They nerfed how much the W pop does early on, not since. And the Q, I think all they did was take the amount of cooldown it gave you on hit from 1.5 to 1.25, and they've messed with that a little bit. Personally, to me, all those changes are fine. They just make you have to play a little slower, both with the Q cooldown reduction being lowered, the damage pop on turret plates is lowered, obviously. As you scale, it's still really good, so I don't have a problem with that. So, what makes Ezreal OP now? Well, in my opinion, not really too much. Being behind against an Ezreal on a champion that isn't going to outscale him feels really bad. An Ezreal that has the either team comp protection or just ballsiness to buy a Triforce instead of going Iceborne is always like hard to face against. Just the 1,000 gold extra cost, but then you also, well, it's really 900. Then you also have just more damage by a good bit, and that's per Q. Gets to be really oppressive. He's really safe, which, is why I like him so much, but why a lot of people think he's too hard to kill. But you had to think, if he goes Triforce instead of armor, and you pick Zed, and you pretty much W on him, flash and blow your whole combo, he's still dead, especially if he doesn't have tabbies. And I feel the same, really, about Aphelios. He has low range, with the exception of Calibrum, which has 650 range, which is Caitlyn's auto range. Not many of your other we are just destroying these guys. Not many of your other guns have more than 550 range. So, with the exception of putting the turret down, like right now, if I put a turret down, it would be the snipe turret, and that would have more range than 550. And then any shots that snipe turret hit on someone, and then I shot them, would allow me to have more range. But anyways, he has low range. If he doesn't have a good gun combo, which I did here when this... And here, you see, I even misplay by keeping Calibrum out, and I still almost win. I would have had more health and been able to kill the MF there if I hadn't trolled with Calibrum and would have instead had Crescendum out. But I did troll. So that's going to be an example of a really good play where I just get even more off of it. And now, as you see, the CS is even, but I'm a pickaxe up and a dagger because of Pike, pretty much. And just because of the assist I've gotten. So from here on out, it kind of gets out of control. Now, why does it get out of control? Swain pretty much doesn't do anything in the game until probably the last 5 minutes. Sejuani never threatens me, even though she could like literally hold me down till I'm dead 100-0. Kiana gets me, I think, one more time in this game, but she's not as reliable an assassin as a Fizz, as a Zed, as a Talon, who can just basically kill you and there's like nothing you can do about it unless you have the right guns, which is like super key in any Aphelios discussion, gameplay situation. So right now I'm against Sivir. She has very low range, and I have my 650 with the Calibrum. So I'm just going to poke her a little bit. I do make a mistake of getting hurt, but pull out Severum and it's pretty free. Here I come in, miss my Q, and that's pretty much it. But I see Urgot's TP coming in, and MF just standing still and point blank ulting him. So I flash out to avoid the initial Sedge play. I see Sivir and Key grouped up and try to cheese her with the Infernum Q, but don't get it. Nevertheless, Urgot gets it and flings Sedge back into me for the triple, which would have been a quad. And after that play is when the game was over. Because now you'll see I'm up 10 CS, 2 kills, 4 assists, and I've got a shutdown, which, you know, generally means, oh, let's play scared, but I also have double buffs, and I'm Aphelios. I've got an eye edge at 11 minutes, and Greaves, and, depending on how much money I have right now, I might be less than 2,000 away from Renons already. This right here is one of the most fun combos with your Severum Q, and then it just shoots the Infernum everywhere. But thing about that makes Aphelios too strong when you see it in pro play is because these people know everything that's going to happen with all of his guns. Whereas a newer player, I'm even saying like someone who doesn't have Mastery 5 minimum is still a newer player on Aphelios. Doesn't know what's going to happen when you hit a Q snipe with your Calibrum and you don't remember to like shoot your free auto off of it. There's all kinds of things. If you have like I earlier when I had all those Crescendum but had Calibrum on instead, little things like that, not knowing what's going to happen when you do stuff, and even to a degree knowing which gun to switch to but not executing properly. Like if you hit your Calibrum ult, you literally have to click them all. If you hit your Gravitum ult, then you can just stun them all right away. Simple things like that. Knowing when certain ults will be better than others. There's all kinds of little nuances to Aphelios that make him more complex and therefore, in my opinion, fun. But also way harder to play properly. Now, to play easily, he's pretty much just a lot of different champions in one. Like, Gravitum is pretty much just Ashe with the slows, and then the stun is her ult. The Q is Sivir, a lot of AoE. Calibrum is Kate. The pistol is just a small bloodthirster. It's a lot of like other ADCs in the one, and that's why I enjoy his kit. But you see, like, Kiana's dancing all over us. And there's not much I can do about it. But they just don't get a lot of good dive on me. Even playing a LeBlanc against this, like, against an Aphelios, you literally just jump on his face and kill him. Just fixing the scoreboard there. So that is what I believe. People think Aphelios is OP. Plays where they don't necessarily pay attention to what gun he's got, and then crazy stuff happens. Like for the Infernum burst when they both had 12 health, they should have never. Oh, we just saw him with Infernum. Let's not hold hands. I would have shot. I would have hurt whoever I hit first would have got hurt almost, and then the other person wouldn't have even got touched, and they would have been fine. But because they did get both bursted, they both got killed, and then we rolled it into like a 4-for-1 or whatever we gave up there at that fight. So now that I am almost 200 years, this gameplay is just going to go downhill. I'm already up 20 farm. My mid's up farm. My jungler's up farm, which he should be. And then Urgot's down a lot of farm. But he is not inting, which is always really huge. And because he's got those 2 kills, that's going to be about 30 farm. And the assist, each maybe 5. So he's got roughly 45 extra farm off of that. Putting him right on pace with Swain, actually. So it does bode well for us. Pike out farming Misfortune as well. It's huge for us. There, I'm just gonna slower, stunner, and just kind of BM and shoot it with the gravity gun. I don't know, something about. I feel like if I got killed by that, I'd have been like super upset. So that's why I keep it out. Now you'll see I'm starting to heal for a good bit. I most likely have pretty close to my 12% life steal here, at least around 10. One thing you will notice about this game is that they are winning the dragon fight. Our Olaf is, practicing and whatnot, but as you see here, it doesn't matter because now they have 2, but like I said, it still doesn't matter. Look how much more farm time than their ADC, 32. Even though my farm is trash, I should be minimum right now to feel good 130, and 150 would be pretty much around diamond level at this time. I still am decently farmed, and I am more importantly beating my lane opponent on. Now if I'm beating my lane opponent on a champion that I should be winning with, and that's gonna fall off, like if I'm Lucian or Draven, it's like, okay, good job, but let's end it in like 2 minutes here, because Sivir will outscale me no matter what. But since I am Aphelios, it doesn't matter. I just outscale pretty much any other ADC, just because of all the ratios. Just like explained by Sneaky's editor, Aphelios is the highest damage per shot potential champion in the game. And a really good thing that I find as far as Aphelios goes is his AoE, just like with Jinx when she has Renans and Iage and her rockets on. You're always going to see an Aphelios pumping out the most damage possible in a perfect situation in a fight. So even if I was behind right now, it still wouldn't matter too much as long as the game went on long enough. But since I'm ahead, this game is just going to end, earlier and earlier. And just a side note, don't ever get Greaves before Black Cleaver on Olaf, and also don't ever get Greaves on Olaf. So that's interesting pickup. Sejuani has Warmogs right now and Cinderella. Yeah. She doesn't even have enough health to proc the effect, so she needs 500 more health, which will come with levels, and probably her next half item worth of gold will get it to her. But just a thought, getting pure health as an item with the effect not even stacking is always a bad idea. In this game, I am just gonna protect my lead. So you see here, I don't need more damage than I have. And here, I make the mistake of seeing a Kiana and running back, but still towards the wall. Whereas, like when you're facing a Vayne player, you never want to position yourself where you can be scooped into a wall. So there's that error. Just clear that up. Yeah, so my LeBlanc is 3 levels up on their mid, so while she can fight me, because we're the same level somehow, she cannot fight LeBlanc at all. Here Urgot is just almost winning a 2v1. Anyways, I'm back. Got my 3 early items, 2.5, whatever you want to call it. I know some people don't like boots counting as an item. Going for either Essence Reaver or Death Dance at this point, but then I quickly decided I am doing enough damage where surviving a little bit will allow me to proc my bloodline, and the slow bleed effect on Death Dance itself will allow me to just do more damage because I'm alive, kind of thing. And here, like I said, still up 32 farm. Sivers is about maybe 30% to her full crit, and we're at 20 minutes. So at this rate, she needs probably the game to go to 45. The way she's like farming and the way the game's looking for her. So we'll see if she gets there. That was a lot of sarcasm, by the way. Here you see why I love Aphelios so much as a character is I just love watching the Infernum wave clear. So here we're all waiting for Ocean. Pretty sure in this fight I just do what I can. Nothing spectacular comes out because I use Infernum early on this side of the fight where the actual fight's over there by the dragon. Actually, it was a huge burst, and we did scare their bot lane away, but then their mid's kind of like, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm like, okay, fine. I don't have Death Dance, you know, I'll leave. We look for a pick here, we don't get it, but then Pike comes in and just pops, like literally, and I see Swain coming in. I don't want to go too far in. I definitely should have just ran to their side of the fight and picked up those kills a little earlier. Olaf still would have been able to get me out, but see the Urgot coming in, know I'm safe, so just do the smartest play in my opinion at the time. Obviously looking back on it now, I did for sure waste my ult to a degree. Did scare bot off, but didn't get kills, so you know, live and learn kind of thing. So much fun to watch. Finally gonna get the turret like 70 minutes after I should have got it. Swain's mad. I can see him coming. Got good word coverage. Team's pinging me away. It's fine. I can see my map, but I'm glad to know that everyone's communicating anyways. Still up by 30 farm. Going back. Getting towards the end. So some of these, any fight now basically could be the last fight, but what you're about to see is definitely an outplay, but sort of still kind of embarrassing for me because of how it went. There's an AP MF poke there, takes me down to half. I eat a Silver Boomerang because I'm trying to bait them, and now the play starts. She hits her ult, I have to flash. Sivir flash heals on me, but I have Crescendum, and I just outplay them with only Crescendum, don't even switch to Severum. Then I type something in ult chat. I think it's like question mark, and then they tell me lifesteal is OP. So what we do is we look at their items, we see 0, Morello, or Executioners, and then we laugh because that's the mentality people in the ELO that I'm in have. And we move on. Yeah, if you're ever against an Aphelios, build Executioners, like for the love of God. So I have 21% lifesteal right now. So yeah. And with the Runans and with all the AoE he does, there's no reason not to build Executioners. I don't care how behind you are. Honestly, the Misfortune should have just built Morello with how easy it is for her to hit me. But here's putting the game on the fast track. We're all grouped. ARAM started 10 minutes late in this one. which is awesome. Kiana basically wastes her ult there. I'm just going to keep sieging because I am full 200 years right now, as you can see. There's pretty much no better feeling in League than this. Hit the crescendo motto. Off the Severum, get the turret. Pike, looking for a play. MF still gets hooked. We kill a key. Just dodge the MF. Shoot her a couple times. Pull out the 200 years maneuver. Transfer that. Team is afraid here. We could honestly kill Swain if we just... Everybody shoots him once with each, either a skill or their auto. But we back off. It's fine. No problem. And the enemy team goes full in, and I'm like super hype, like, because we're about to just get a triple here, but then they forfeit because they knew what time it was. And kind of sad, but a win's a win. I feel like I'm almost ready to take him into rank, so hopefully we'll see that soon, maybe later this week even. Thank you for coming to Hyrule. Thanks for listening to the comm. Hope I explained myself well, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.